we're going to make a six-sided God's eye. So you need a six-sided form. So basically this is just 3 popsicle sticks glued together in the center. You take your end piece to make the eye and you put the end in the center. Hold it down with your thumb. Then you wrap in between the sticks. So I'm going to wrap around a few times this way. Then I'm going to go to the next in between this way. And what this starts to look like is a little bit of a star in the center. Then I'm going to go in between these pieces. That way you start to cover up the wood in the middle. Keep going until you've finished with that color. If you have too much, you can always trim it. I've already tied another piece to the end, so I'm going to see where that falls. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the next technique. In the past, with the four-sided, we went on top and around to the next one. We're going to do the opposite, and we're going to go under and around, under and around, under and around, under and around. So basically, this is just what the on top and around looks like from the opposite side. Now you'll notice with the six-sided, we tend to see some of the wood in here, which is okay, but you can always just push these up as well. And then I'm going to continue. Now with the six-sided, especially in the beginning, it takes a little bit more yarn to start to see the pattern. Right now it just looks like I'm wrapping the sticks. Again, I'm pulling my string tight. I'm going kind of fast, but you can go slow to make it nice and neat and even. Push them up as I go. So with the six-sided, I'd like to see you try all these different techniques. There's a couple more that I'll show you too. That way when you get to the large six-sided, you can use whichever ones you want. You can mix and match, and that's what makes them really have nice patterns. So you can start to see the form start to build out in between, but I ran out of string. So if you flip it over, see how that just looks like the four-sided on top and around that we had done previously. Okay, so I'm going to undo it a little bit, and I'm going to tie another string. Put the two ends together, make a loop, pull it through, and tighten. Now I'm going to use up the rest of my turquoise. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to try the skipping technique, which makes a triangle. So you can go either on top and around or under and around. It's totally up to you. I think I'll go on top and around. If you have a knot here, just make sure you pull it to the back so you don't see it. And you can either skip by going on top of all the strings, or you can skip by going under. This one tends to cover spaces up. I think that looks a little bit nicer when you have the larger form. So I'm just going to go under. But the option is there. It's totally up to you how you want it to look. You can experiment with them. So what I just did was I wrapped around a stick, then I skipped one. Then I wrapped around the stick. And then I'm going to skip this one. And once you start to have them, you know where the next wrapping is going to be. And just continue. So it starts to make somewhat of a triangle. Again, I'm pulling my strings tight. I should be able to count all of them as I go out, or as they fall out horizontally. I'm getting to the end of my yellow, so I can add another one to it. Again, take my new color, put the blue and the yellow ends together, wrap around my fingers, pull them through, and tighten. Now I want to do the three-sided again, but I'm going to use the other sticks. Now you can mix and match however you want these to line up. I could now just wrap on each string. I don't have to do the skipping technique again. It's up to you. This one I think I'm going to go on under and around. And then maybe I'll go under and around, under and around. If you see some of the stick, that's okay. It's just the nature of it. Under and around, skip. Under and around, skip. and continue. And you keep going, and you can see on the other side it looks a little bit different. Both sides could look neat. Of course, we have all these knots, but those we can trim later. And I'm going to just keep continuing. It only looks like I'm covering up the sticks at this point, but eventually you'll start to see the blue come out underneath. And then when I'm done with the blue, I can just go ahead and add another color, and I can continue however I wish. I could add the basic one or the skipping, and there's the beginning of the six-sided Gratzai.